From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Friday morning. We're going to have very normal high temperatures for today, but we are already tracking some triple-digit heat for the beginning of next week. That's why we're going with the First Alert Weather Day, and we'll definitely have more to say about this later in the show, but just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, winds for this morning already starting to pick up. It's breezy in the Kittitas Valley and for portions of the lower Columbia Basin and Blue Foothills and Blue Mountains, and these are only going to ramp up even more after 11 a.m. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s for lower elevations, 40s in the Cascades and 40s and 50s in the Blues. Your day planner forecast for today for lower elevations could have some clouds throughout the day, but I'm thinking the sunshine is going to win out. 60s and 70s around lunchtime and 70s and 80s at the peak of daytime heating. Again, that's normal for this time of the year. More normal stuff for Saturday, a bit hotter for Sunday. That's going to be our pivot, and that'll introduce us to triple-digit heat, at least for lower elevations on Monday and Tuesday. The forecast staying dry. You factor in the heat, that means fire danger is going to go up. So I'll touch on all these points, but especially point number 2 coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, the man at the center of several harassment reports in Walla Walla has now been arrested in Yakima. What police say he's accused of doing and how they tracked him down.
And if you're getting some strange text messages claiming to be from the Department of Transportation, officials say do not believe it. We explain what to watch out for and what to do if you get one of these.
Plus, Governor Bob Ferguson making a stop in Kennewick and sounding the alarm over potential Medicaid cuts. The real-world impact local families and caregivers could have is all coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jade Elliott. It is Friday, June 27th. We've made it to the end of the week.
And almost the end of June.
And
this flew by. It's crazy.
It's really unfair.
I agree, because now summer is getting shorter and shorter.
Well,
but
I know.
It feels like the hot temperatures are kind of just starting, because we had a little bit of a cool down, but now it's going to get hot again, or it has been.
Yeah, we're going to get another warm up. Josh, of course, will break all of that down coming up in just a minute. But first, we have some updates.
And we want to start in Walla Walla, the man who's at the center of multiple harassment reports involving young women.
Yeah, authorities confirming 23-year-old Alan Adams has been arrested in Yakima. Officials saying that he has a pattern of behavior approaching younger women, getting their contact information, and then later sending repeated unwanted messages.
And those messages allegedly included explicit photos and videos of Adams engaged in lewd acts.
Walla Walla police had issued a public safety alert just the day before he was arrested. Details of his arrest haven't been released, but we do know he has been taken into custody. Any new developments will, of course, pass along to you.
Now to a crime alert. If you've gotten a suspicious text this week claiming to be from the Washington State Department of Transportation, it's likely a scam. Stephanie Randolph, the department's acting communications director, says fraudulent messages have been circulating since Monday. The texts tell people to pay up or face legal trouble, and it also includes a link to a fake website. Randolph says the DOT never sends payment requests by text message, and if you get one, do not click the link, just delete it. She also recommends reporting the message to your cell provider, and you can also file a complaint with the FBI or the Federal Trade Commission.
Well, a judge has ruled that the University of Idaho murder trial will go on as scheduled starting in August. Attorneys for Bryan Kohberger attempted to put the process on hold, claiming they did not have enough time to go through the large amount of evidence, and that information was shared with the media. Well, jury questioning is scheduled to begin on August 4th instead of July 30th, and then will continue until a jury is seated. Open statements could begin as soon as August 18th.
Governor Bob Ferguson made his way into Kennewick at the Regency Canyon Lakes Rehab and Nursing Center for a press conference, and he got straight to business. He spoke with local people who would be affected by potential Medicaid cuts. And joining him in this press conference were local healthcare providers and family members who depend on it. Governor Ferguson says these are some of the estimated cuts so far.
From the House budget would mean a $2 billion cut over 4 years. The Senate version is even worse and is approximately $3 billion over 4 years. So these cuts are profound. I mean, there's not another word I can really think of in terms of the magnitude of what these cuts would mean.
The governor says a final budget has not been adopted, so it's hard to know the full scope until that final vote happens, which has yet to be determined. Making a difference this morning, Second Harvest held a food donation event at the Life Church 7 in Richland just yesterday.
Yeah, they were able to provide food for neighbors in need. Apple Valley News Now, Jake Gable shows us how they made it all happen.
Food is a necessity for life, but just because it's necessary doesn't mean it's always available for everyone. Providing meals for those in need is Second Harvest's mission.
Usually try and do one here locally in the Tri-Cities area, and then we get out to rural areas. So in setup, we usually have like a sponsor that sponsors the mobile market. So Life Church 7 has sponsored this mobile market. So that goes out on our website, and then people follow that website so they can find the information of where to come.
With donations from places such as Walmart and local farmers, Life Church 7 and Second Harvest are able to give food to nearly 300 families.
I was a single mom at one time, so I know what it's like to be in lack. So when I see people coming in need, I know that they come through because they are in need of food.
The foods given out include frozen turkey, beef, potatoes, apples, onions, and bread.
People who come every month, you know, sometimes they're repeat people, so we see them and we can catch up on what they've been doing and stuff, and it's a real pleasure for us to see them every month. So, and we have a lot of fun doing this.
Between Life Church 7 and Second Harvest, 17 people volunteered their time to fill an assembly line of cars with food from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
A lot of them are actually part of our School of Jesus. These are a lot of alumni or current students, as well as members of our church.
A fulfilling act of kindness that fills the pantries of those in need. In Richland, Jake Gable, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Jake. And Second Harvest is looking for more volunteers and more donations.
The next mobile market will be back at Life Church 7 in Richland on July 1st.
And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, a Supreme Court ruling could reshape how Medicare is used in abortion-related care. We'll break down what this decision means and how it could affect health care for millions of Americans.
But first, giving you a beautiful live look outside this morning from our Yakima Federal Camp here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert will be back with your first alert forecast after the break. It's 6:07.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
Atomic Health pays me to do the in-home, I guess, nursing or the things I do to help out, so we don't need a nurse. Meds, cooking, cleaning, getting them to doctor's appointments, picking up prescriptions, whatever else needs to be done. So at least once a month or whenever I need her, Sarah, or whatever nurse is available, comes to our house. If I have a worry that I'm not sure if he needs to go to the doctor, she comes and advises me and does an assessment and tells me if there's anything I need to do different, or I don't know that I could do this without him.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not.
This summer, big wins come in sevens at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Get ready for the $100,000 Lucky Summer Sevens giveaway with over $12,000 cash up for grabs every Friday and Saturday in June. The heat is on, and so is the grand prize on June 28th. 3 winners choose 7 cards with prizes. Reveal 7 sevens and instantly win $17,000 cash. Wild Horse Resort and Casino, celebrating 3 decades of fun.
Hear that? It's the sound of savings at your local Ford dealer. Get a sweet-sounding deal on F-150, Bronco, Bronco Sport, Explorer, Escape, and more. Hurry in today for the sound of savings, because a new Ford truck or SUV is calling your name. Just listen to this great offer. Employee pricing ends soon. Get up to $13,000 total savings, only at your local Ford dealer.
For over 4 decades, the art of fine catering has been perfected by CG Catering in Kennewick. Well known for their luxurious bites, lavish delights, and precision in every portion, CG Catering will grace any event from groups of 10 to 3,000. Meticulous menus with seamless service for all occasions is their tradition. From remote locations to their local event center, repeat clients provide ongoing rave reviews as a testament to the unforgettable memories they have inspired. Call CG Catering for your next celebration.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of this morning's temperatures. We start off in Kittitas County, low 40s up towards the pass, mid-50s for Ellensburg, and low 60s down towards Vantage. In the Yakima Valley, low to mid-50s in general. And then for the lower Columbia Basin, we have a mixture of 50s and 60s, 58 for the Tri-Cities and 61 in Benton City. Then for the Blue Foothills, 50s and 60s as well, and then 40s and 50s in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. So you might need a very light jacket for this morning in the Tri-Cities, but as soon as 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock this morning, it's going to be t-shirt weather. And of course, we'll hang on to that throughout the rest of the day. As high temperatures, it will be very warm outside, but this is pretty normal for late June with 70s and 80s for lower elevations and lots of sunshine. So it's going to be a beautiful end to the work week. Now I'll show you the atmospheric lay of the land over the next few days. Remember, what we always look for on this map, we look for high pressure, which is this spinning blue H, low pressure, which is that spinning red L, and then cold fronts, warm fronts. We're not going to have any of those on the map, but those dictate what our weather looks like around this time of the year. When we have high pressure that dominates, that means that our weather is going to get hotter and drier. And so you see there's this high pressure that's in the Four Corners region, and then this high pressure that's in the Pacific. Those two are going to work in tandem with each other. And so as we head into the beginning of next week, that means we're going to get hotter and drier, especially hot for lower elevations. I'll tell you just how hot coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 6:12 now, and today the Supreme Court is expected to issue its final opinions before recessing for the summer.
And it comes as the Supreme Court frees states to cut some government funding to Planned Parenthood.
Nicole D'Antonio's in Washington with the very latest.
This morning, the Supreme Court prepares to issue its final opinions before recessing for the summer. It comes as a divided Supreme Court voted in a 6-3 decision to allow states to block Medicaid funding of Planned Parenthood for health services such as contraception and cancer screenings. Justice Neil Gorsuch, writing for the majority, said that, quote, it generally belongs to the federal government to supervise compliance with its own spending programs. Meanwhile, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, taking the opposite view, wrote, today's decision is likely to result in tangible harm to real people. As for those who brought suit, SBA Pro-Life America praised the decision, saying in part, quote, Planned Parenthood's taxpayer-funded gravy train is swiftly coming to an end. And for the Planned Parenthood clinic at the center of the lawsuit, they said in a statement, today's decision is a grave injustice that strikes at the very bedrock of American freedom and promises to send South Carolina deeper into a healthcare crisis. Coming just 3 years after the Dobbs decision striking down Roe v. Wade, one legal analyst says Thursday's decision may be where the court is headed.
We are a long ways away from where we were 10 years ago, and we're just 3 years removed from the Dobbs decision overturning Roe v. Wade. This is part and parcel of a significant conservative shift on the Supreme Court, even relative to the conservative court that we had just a couple years ago.
Now, today is the last day for opinions from the court.
Remaining decisions include birthright citizenship and LGBTQ plus issues in schools. Those decisions, according to their social media pages, should be coming down within about the next 20 to 30 minutes.
And we'll keep you updated on what becomes of that. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Josh Colbreth will be back and has how your weather is looking this weekend. It's all coming up in his first alert weather forecast, and that is after the break.
The sale of the season is here. It's the Star-Spangled 4th of July sale at Furniture Row. That's 11 days where the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend on living, dining, bedroom, and mattresses. Plus, make your cash go further with 60 months no-interest financing. And check out doorbusters while they last. But don't wait. The Star Spangled 4th of July sale at Furniture Row ends Monday the 7th.
From sparklers to sparkling appliances, find explosive deals at Fred's this 4th of July. Come check out what's in stock and on sale. Score big on all GE appliances from your favorite brands like GE Cafe and GE Profile. This Independence Day, Fred's is offering exclusive deals on all GE fridges, ranges, dishwashers, and so much more. Plus, save up to $500 with an additional Fred's Buy More, Save More exclusive rebate. Fred's Appliance is your family-owned local appliance expert since 1962.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some. Gimme Some Bagels.
It's the 4th of July sale at More Furniture with red, white, and blue savings in every department. Just in time for summer entertaining, family gatherings, and holiday celebrations. Join us this weekend and get our very best offer. No money down, subtract the sales tax, and absolutely no interest until July 2026. Plus, you'll get free white glove delivery and will remove and donate your gently used pieces locally. Visit your local More Furniture today, where everyone gets more for less.
Apple Valley News Now viewer Alan Rither of Richland.
We really appreciate Apple Valley News Now being on the air. It's more a part of our community.
We love hearing from viewers. Email comments at applevalleynewsnow.com.
ET's exclusive with Nelly and Ashanti. The new parents interview each other.
I'll probably change 2 diapers.
Maybe 3. Plus,
oh, hi.
Our creepy Megan 2.0 showdown. Next, ET.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yep, it's going to be pretty hot at the beginning of next week. That's why we're going with First Alert Weather Day for both Monday and Tuesday. Triple digits for lower elevations. That's, I'd say that's the middle of the story. Let's start off at the beginning of the story, though. We'll have plenty of sunshine for today. Could have a few showers up in the Cascades, but the rest of it's going to be dry and just a beautiful day in general. Normal high temperatures for today for this time of the year. 70s and 80s for lower elevations, 50s in the Cascades, and 60s and 70s in the Blues. Winds going to be similar to what they were for yesterday, as it could be a bit breezy or windy for the morning, but after 11 a.m. they'll crank it up. And windiest conditions are going to be in the Kittitas Valley, also in the Morrow County foothills. Elsewhere, it's going to be breezy. Then for tonight, a few leftover showers in the Cascades. The rest of it's going to be dry with mostly clear skies. And overnight lows down into the 50s for lower elevations, 40s in the Cascades, and 40s in the Blues. For tomorrow, winds not coming back with as much vengeance. Still could be a little bit windy in the Kittitas Valley, but you see a lot of light here on the map, which means light winds. So that is good. We like it when the winds are light around this time of the year, except when it comes to smoke, but of course we'll get to that when we get to it. All right, high temperatures going to be normal for the next couple of days. We pivot on Sunday, then around triple-digit heat for Monday and Tuesday. Cooler for Wednesday and Thursday, still above average for this time of the year, but at that point, we'll be past the hottest of the heat wave. So for Monday and Tuesday, high temperatures around 100 for the valleys and the foothills. And I wouldn't be too shocked if some portions of the lower Columbia Basin got up to 105. So it is imperative that you exercise all the heat safety and all the fire safety that you've learned throughout the years. We'll have more on heat safety coming up a little bit later in the show. But yeah, no substantial rainfall over the next 7 days. You factor in the heat, our vegetation is going to be very stressed out and fire danger will go up. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Mid-80s today and tomorrow, mid-90s on Sunday, then near 100 for Monday and Tuesday. In Yakima, trending warmer through the weekend, then right on the cusp of triple digits to start next week. In Ellensburg, windy over the next couple days, but next week's round of winds is much more concerning given the increasing fire danger. In Hermiston, normal highs Friday and Saturday, hotter Sunday, then the hottest weather impacts us Monday and Tuesday. Then for Walla Walla, low 80s today and tomorrow, near 90 for Sunday. Then we'll make a run for 100 degrees at the beginning of next week.
Thanks, Josh. Still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, a deer behind bars, a baby moose on the loose, and a mama on a mission. Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, we'll take a look at the wildlife making headlines this week. It's all after the break.
Just like you, I'm working towards buying my first home.
I'm saving for my children's future.
Like you, I want financial tools that make my life easier.
At Hapo, we're more than employees. We're people just like you, and we understand what really matters.
And just like you,
we're planning for our future.
And I care about making a difference.
We are here to help you navigate life's milestones, big and small, because we're just like you. Join us at Hapo today.
Welcome to Nob Hill Casino, your premier gaming destination. Experience the thrill of a Vegas-style casino featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and unlock exclusive rewards every time you play. Challenge your skills at our 16-lane bowling alley. Unwind with a drink at our cozy bar, or enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner at the Last Frontier. The ultimate entertainment experience has something for everyone. Nob Hill Casino, where locals come to win.
Your life matters, and there are people ready to listen. Together, as schools, law enforcement, faith leaders, and community members, we are committed to making sure no young person feels alone.
Never a bother.
Never a bother.
Never a bother, anytime, anywhere.
Visit neverabother.org for resources and support. Remember, you're never a bother.
Hear that? It's the sound of savings at your local Ford dealer. Get a sweet-sounding deal on F-150, Bronco, Bronco Sport, Explorer, Escape, and more. Hurry in today for the sound of savings, because a new Ford truck or SUV is calling your name. Just listen to this great offer. Employee pricing ends soon. Get up to $13,000 total savings, only at your local Ford dealer.
Macy's July 4th sale has our lowest prices of summer on mattresses. Rest easy with up to 65% off our top brands. A free adjustable base or box spring. Plus a Macy's gift card up to $300. Going on now at Macy's.
First you hear it, then you feel it. That's the crunchy, melt-in-your-mouth feeling of Ritz Toasted Chips.
Register today. Last chance. 165 team registration ends midnight Monday, June 30th.
Welcome back, 622. Taking a look at what is trending this morning, and we've had our fair share of unusual animal encounters lately.
First, a moose snooping into a fire station, a deer trying to break into jail, and even more wild kids on the loose.
Seems like something's in the air. From Georgia to Alaska, it's been a week of adorable intruders and some heroic rescues.
Patrick Cornell has the top videos from this past week in today's Take a Look at This.
Come here, come here. This poor lost fawn isn't a con, but it is trying to bust through the bars to break into the Coweta County, Georgia jail. Stop. The clearly terrified tiny deer somehow slipped past guards outside where it attempted to finagle itself through a fence into the jail's restricted area. Deputy Austin Webb quickly snatched up the wannabe inmate and walked it back to his car. I know, buddy. Where he locked the animal in the back seat to keep it safe, but only for a bit. Deputy Webb found a good spot nearby to release the deer back into the wild. Here's another young one that lost its way. Can you spot the wild animal lurking in the field? Keep looking, I promise it's there. And there it is. Yeah, that's a baby 650-pound bull moose hanging out in a park in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Parks and wildlife officials say it's not safe for a moose to be that close to people and pets, so they worked their way through the brush, got the moose immobilized, then using man and machine power to heave-ho the animal out of the area. Firefighters helped hose it down to keep the little one cool until they eventually lifted it up and into a trailer. The moose has been taken to a new, safer home. In Alaska, a meandering moose made its way into the Anchorage Fire Department maintenance shop. I guess these things just really love firefighters, but this moose wasn't looking for men in uniform. She was seemingly trying to find her misplaced kiddos, and after 20 seconds or so of looking high and low, Mama Moose realized her calves were elsewhere, waltzing away to continue the search. No worries, it didn't take long for her offspring to emerge from their hiding spot, ready for a snack. I feel like my fellow parents can really relate to this story. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
That's the update we needed.
We needed that so bad because we were like, what happened to the babies? Because we had this story yesterday. Yes. Oh my goodness. So I'm glad that she got her babies.
And just a little petition to change a portion of the English language. You know, goose, geese, moose, meese. I feel like it should be meese.
I feel like it should be. It really should.
Instead, it's what is it, mooses?
I think it's just moose.
Is it just moose? Like moose is singular and plural?
I think it's singular and plural. I don't know.
We should change it to
look
meese.
At all this. Look at all those moose.
Yeah. Look at all those guys.
I think Meese has more oomph to it.
Meese is what I call my dog as a nickname. Her name's Macy. Well, she's got like 50 billion names, but yeah, that's what happens.
That's what happens, yeah. Meese. All right. So much ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We're taking an in-depth look at a nearly $2 million lawsuit between the Pasco School District and a former employee. Coming up, we will hear directly from Jose Hernandez and the school after the break.
Hey, your homework done?
Yep.
Hey, is your homework done?
This kind of is homework. So, what do you think?
I'm so proud of you. Can I play some more?
Is all your work done?
Washington's Lottery is a proud partner in the goal to promote college and career training. Each time you play, you're helping students statewide.
Looking for a trusted professional to guide you through your real estate endeavors? Carrie Lundgren with River Realty is ready to guide you through the process. As a lifelong Tri-Cities resident with 35 years real estate experience, she has the knowledge, dedication, and enthusiasm to make your real estate dreams come true. Whether you are buying your first home, moving up or scaling back, or looking for an investment, she has got you covered. Call Carrie today at 509-948-0580 and start making your dreams a reality.
At US Cellular, we created an event to celebrate our customers, like Luanna here, called Us Days.
Yeah, they give us special rewards and exclusive deals in everything. It almost feels like we're part of a cool club together.
Sure does.
Slide, connect. Woo, woo, woo. Hug, shake.
Us Days just got bigger. All customers get a free phone with no trade-in.
For decades, CG Public House has been known for fresh, chef-inspired meals and seasonal specialty menus. When the weather's right, enjoy patio dining with dog-friendly amenities that make everyone feel welcome. Pair your favorite dishes with handcrafted cocktails and premium local wines for the perfect dining experience. Don't miss the Pendleton Beef Prime Rib, served every Friday and Saturday. And be sure to finish with a slice of our famous homemade pie. Join us to make CG Public House your favorite dine-out.
It's Men's Health Awareness Month. Take charge of your health with regular checkups and know the risks for your age, ethnicity, and lifestyle. More at applevalleyNewsNow.com.
Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health. Learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
Lights, music, magic. At Giza Powerhouse Theater in Walla Walla, the stage comes alive with electrifying concerts, Broadway-style productions, side-splitting comedy, and unforgettable performances. This isn't just a theater. It's a destination for world-class entertainment in Eastern Washington. From the moment the curtain rises, you'll be swept into the extraordinary. Don't miss your chance to experience it all. Get your tickets now online. Giza Powerhouse Theater, where every show is a showstopper.
There's blood everywhere.
No one in cycling gets murdered. What the hell is going on?
Authorities have charged fellow cyclists with first-degree murder.
Tonight, what is it like to hear that your daughter is a fugitive?
2020, tonight on ABC. A flight over the golf course at Birch Creek. Apple Valley News Now at 6, Tuesday. This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us. Joining us here for Good Morning Northwest, I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
3-degree guarantee.
Yep.
How's it looking?
It's looking good, partner.
Looking stellar.
Yeah. It went up. Jackpot went up once again. It is now up to 1,375, which is $1,375. It's because I went with the forecast high of 86 yesterday in Pasco Tri-Cities, and it verified right at 86. And so here are the stakes for today. Essentially the same forecast, high 85 this time in Pasco Tri-Cities. So if it verifies between 82 to 88, the jackpot's going to hit $1,400. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Okay, Monday and Tuesday going to be first alert weather days as we're tracking the potential for triple-digit heat for lower elevations on both days. Here's some tips to keep you safe in the heat. Of course, if you're going to walk the pets, the earlier in the morning, the better. If the kids are going to be outside, make sure that they're staying hydrated. If you're going to be working outside, in particular, find shade and stay hydrated yourself, and be sure to check in on those vulnerable populations, especially the elderly. Let's take you back to this morning. Winds a little bit breezy out there in the Kittitas Valley, portions of the lower Columbia Basin, Bluefoot Hills, and Blue Mountains. They're really going to ramp up after 11 a.m., but you're already seeing the winds for this morning. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s for lower elevations, 40s in the Cascades, and 40s and 50s in the Blues. Your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities, going to have lots of sunshine all throughout the day. It's just going to be a gorgeous end to the work week. Very normal high temperatures for this time of the year, so 70s and 80s for lower elevations. I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's, like I mentioned, a very beautiful forecast. Also, I'll show you what vegetation dryness is looking like for today. So that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Starting off this half hour with the follow-up, the Pasco School District has agreed to pay $1.9 million to settle a lawsuit from former Transportation Director Jose Hernandez. Hernandez says he endured years of racial harassment and retaliation while working in the district's transportation department. He claims he was called racial slurs, targeted by graffiti, and received threatening notes, all while district leadership failed to take action. When Hernandez reported the discrimination, he says he was demoted and falsely accused of misconduct. Hernandez officially retired earlier this year, and we spoke with his lawyer about the case.
One of the goals of a lawsuit like this is to force change. I think in terms of what Pasco School District has to say, the amount of money that they are paying to settle this lawsuit is a signal that they understand the severity of the misconduct and the harm that Jose endured.
The district denies any wrongdoing, but confirmed the settlement as a way to avoid prolonged litigation.
And in Oregon, Pendleton's biggest entertainment destination is about to get even bigger. Wild Horse Resort Casino is going to undergo a $100 million expansion. From the casino floor to the hotel lobby, Wild Horse Resort Casino is already a major draw in Eastern Oregon, but leaders say they are ready to raise the stakes. So that the new standard will include a 10-story hotel tower with more than 200 rooms, a new full-service restaurant, and 15,000 square foot convention space, tripling the resort's current event capacity.
We wanted to become a family destination type resort, and so to achieve that, we also are building, of course, the 10-story hotel with 214 rooms to help accommodate more families and more people. And some of the unique features of this hotel are going to be family friendly.
The expansion will also replace the former Courtyard Hotel, with construction expected to wrap up in 2027. Tribal leaders say it's a long-term investment in both tourism and the economic future of the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation.
Taking a look now at education in Prosser, where the school district just wrapped up some major upgrades to its athletic facilities, and they couldn't have done it without big help from the community.
Apple Valley News Now's William Albert has the details.
Back in February of last year, the Prosser School District passed a capital levy aimed at funding improvements and maintenance across the district. That levy, which brought in over $2 million, helped fund the construction of 8 brand new tennis courts at Prosser High School. While student athletes have been using the courts throughout the past school year, the final touches were just completed recently.
So they started their spring sports about March 1st, and so they were playing on them. However, they played only on red with the black asphalt around them. The green was just done in the last week or 10 days.
The new courts will allow the school to host large athletic events like regionals, and the district is planning future additions near the courts, close to the baseball and softball complexes.
And to my left shoulder, which you can't see, will be the future home of a concession stand and restrooms and storage facility for these athletic programs.
One of the biggest changes, a brand new set of pickleball courts at the site of the old Prosser High School. they're already seeing plenty of use.
We were able to put in 6 pickleball courts and the tennis court to the left, allowing it to be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Obviously, we don't probably play in the middle of winter, but this modernization allowed for our local community to have better outdoor spaces.
While the improvements do come from a multi-million-dollar levy, Prosser School District officials tell me the most important thing is financial responsibility in giving folks of the Prosser community, as well as students in the district, a return on investment.
Community came up, we've never run a capital levy before. We said we needed a great place for our students and our community to play and live, and we got it, and we need to say thank you. Surrounding communities need to know if you support each other, it works for all.
For locals like Ben Sonicson, the upgrades are about more than just new facilities. They're about pride in the community and investing in the future.
I know that we've had groups of 30 young kids out here teaching them the game, and they're looking at these courts like I did when I was a kid. I started on these courts in the 1980s with summer rec tennis, and now these courts, there's kids starting on these courts in pickleball in the 2020s, right? And so, you know, what happens in 30 years of time, it really enhances the community.
The Prosser School District is staying focused on growth and making things better for both students and the community. In Prosser, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
And that same levy also funded some security improvements at Housel Middle School, helping create a safer learning environment for students there.
And those new pickleball courts, you know, it's a growing, popular sport.
It sure is. They're going to get well used. We'll get you out there.
All right, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, classic cars, free movies, and a shot at stage stardom. We've got your weekend plans covered as we take a look at what's going on in the Tri-Cities over the weekend.
Plus, giving you that live look outside this morning from our Yakima Federal camera here at the Apple Valley studio in Kennewick. When we come back, we'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. I'll have a look at your first alert forecast. It's 6:36 on this Friday.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
The savings continue with Buy Mart's latest savings book. Pick one up in store today. Bonus zone savings include Pepsi brand 12 packs, buy 2 get 2 free. Save $3 on Old Trapper 10-ounce beef jerky. Plus find Blue Diamond bagged almonds for $4.99. Buy Mart brand bath tissue and paper towels are $5 off. Savory Prime chicken jerky for dogs is just $14.99. And find assorted gift cards at $3 off. Saving you more when it's needed most. Buy Mart since 1955.
System 1 loaded.
Summer's almost here, and so is your next Subaru. The countdown to summer sales event is on at McCurley Subaru of Yakima, and the time is running out to lock in today's prices before potential market changes hit. Get ready for sunshine, road trips, and serious summer savings, like on a new 2025 Subaru Forester today for only $344 a month. Summer's coming fast. Lock in your deal today. McCurley Subaru of Yakima, your way home.
Did you know Astria Health has the only team of neurosurgeons in the Lower Valley? Patients no longer need to travel long distances to receive the spine care they need. Patients with spinal tumors, stenosis, herniated or degenerative disc diseases, spine trauma, fractures, or spinal cord injury can be seen by an Astria neurosurgeon in Prosser, Sunnyside, or Zillah. Ask your primary care provider for a referral to one of our neurosurgeons. Astria Health, exceptional rural health care close to home.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
A really fun golf course.
All the holes are pretty challenging.
Surrounded by Oregon farms.
The course is lined by old-growth trees.
Fly the Northwest over the golf course at Birch Creek.
And then, of course, you have the creek.
Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Next live, Richard Gere. Plus, Anika Noni Rose.
And Richard Gere.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. And we're going to have normal high temperatures for this time of the year. Now, we could have a few showers up in the Cascades, but the rest of the region going to be dry. And it is going to be windy today in the Kittitas Valley. Peak gusts there around 40 miles per hour. In the Yakima Valley, low to mid-80s, mostly sunny skies, a little bit breezy. Peak gusts between 15 to 25 miles per hour. They're going to be between 25 to 30 miles per hour in the lower Columbia Basin. Also bright skies and highs in the mid-80s. And then for the Blue Foothills, we're going to be in the mid to upper 70s for the Morrow County foothills, and then low to mid 80s for the foothills of Umatilla and Walla Walla County, 60s and 70s in the Blue Mountains, and also breezy and windy out this way, but especially windy in the Morrow County foothills. Some of those peak gusts could be up around 35 miles per hour. Okay, here is today's vegetation dryness forecast. Remember that all of these levels have been adjusted for typical dryness per microclimate, and there's a lot of orange on this map. What does that mean? That means that we'll have an elevated level of vegetation dryness for today in the Cascades, in particular in the upper Yakima Basin, but the Kittitas Valley, Yakima Valley, lower Columbia Basin, and Blue Foothills all seeing elevated dryness. And I just have a sneaking suspicion that next week that'll probably get bumped up to critically dry, at least for a good chunk of our area, as it is going to be very hot. The vegetation is going to be very stressed out. I'll tell you just how hot we'll be at the beginning of next week, coming up in a few minutes.
All right, 6:41, and it is a jam-packed weekend ahead in the Tri-Cities. Whether you're into engines, pancakes, Erie Stage Mysteries, there's a little bit of everything.
And we're talking about cool desert nights, auditions for a spooky classic, and even a movie night under the stars in Benton City.
So grab your calendar, because we're helping you map out a weekend full of local fun, starting with the Friday night cruise you won't want to miss.
That's right. If you're a car lover or just looking for a fun way to kick off the weekend, Richland's Cool Desert Nights Cruise is the place to be.
Classic cars, hot rods, and custom builds will take over the streets today for a rolling showcase that's become a summer tradition.
And after the cruise, head over to John Dam Plaza for Party in the Park. There will be live music, food trucks, and even a beer garden to keep the party going.
Yeah. It doesn't stop there. Then Saturday morning starts off with a sweet and simple pancake breakfast at Jefferson Park.
And fuel up between 7 and 11 and then roll on over to the Show and Shine at Uptown Shopping Center.
Hundreds of classic cars will be on display from 9 to 3, so bring the family and your camera, because this is a car lover's dream day.
But if that doesn't sound like your cup of tea, we've got more plans, and we've got you covered.
Yeah, grab your blanket, your lawn chairs, maybe some popcorn, because it is movie night in the park.
The Benton City Chamber of Commerce is hosting Movies in the Park with a showing of a movie that I've definitely seen before and heard of, Fern Gully.
The animated classic follows a group of rainforest creatures teaming up to save their home from destruction.
Admission is free, and families, of course, encouraged to come a little early, claim your spot, and get settled in for movie night.
Ooh, and now I need to watch that movie, Fern Gully, because you made it sound good.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. And then calling all performers, there's a mystery, drama, and double life waiting on stage in Richland.
The Richland Players are kicking off their season with The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, a suspenseful reimagining told through the eyes of a Scotland Yard inspector.
When the weather shifts too much, I always say it's like a Jekyll and Hyde setup, so definitely would recommend this one. Auditions are happening this Sunday, no monologue required. Just be ready for cold reads, and if you've been practicing your British accent, now's your time to shine.
So it is Jade and I's time to shine.
I think it is. Performances run late September through mid-October.
Okay, Josh, you didn't try it last hour. Try a British accent.
Or the Peaky Blinders. That's not really. I think they're more Irish.
Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
I do think you're a little right on the Irish.
I liked it though.
Yeah. That's
nice work.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Thanks.
A for effort. All right. Still ahead, your morning sprint. Everything you need to know before you head out the door this morning. And of course, we'll be checking back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He will give his full first alert forecast in his best British accent coming up after the break.
So much for you.
Sounds like someone's got the munchies.
Is it too much to ask for you to play a little bit better?
Wouldn't make much difference with your aim.
Hard to miss your big head.
Okay. Hey, we said no head jokes. Build your own munchie meal.
Or get mine.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
If you have heart failure or chronic kidney disease, Farxiga can help you keep living life, because there are places you'd like to be. Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and bacterial infection between the anus and genitals, both which may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections, and low blood sugar. Stop taking and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing. Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness or swelling between the anus and genitals. Ask your doctor about Farxiga today.
Farxiga.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to drive smarter with high-tech features and excellent reliability. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get it 4.99% APR on a 2025 Civic.
Do you keep up with the trends or set your own?
Is the color dense enough?
Add more pigment. Launch on social.
We've got to take this global.
All right, so where do we go from here?
You've got to test it, perfect it, expand it. Never rest until it's right.
Introducing the business card that gives back all you put in. The new Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business.
Most people who have lived through an opioid overdose have something in common. They didn't do it alone. Someone was there when they OD'd. Someone had naloxone. Someone called for help. So, if you use opioids like fentanyl, know who your someone is. Use with them when you can. Have naloxone with you. And make sure your someone is ready to help you if you need it. Just like you would for them.
Whether you're injured on the road or on the job, the big dogs at Brumback and Autumn will get you the full compensation. Leave nothing on the table. Brumback and Autumn. Bulldog tough.
Behold my Jackraps, 100% all white meat grilled or crispy chicken with lettuce, cheese and sauces, and a warm tortilla for just $3. And they're under 400 calories. So if your goal this year was to save money and eat healthy-ish, we got you.
Hello there, watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Monday and Tuesday going to be first alert weather days because it is going to be very hot out there. Triple digits for lower elevations. Let's show you how we get there. So we start off with today. Mostly sunny skies, a beautiful day. Could have a few showers up in the Cascades, but that's about it. And high temperatures for today are going to be normal for this time of the year. 70s and 80s for lower elevations, 50s in the Cascades, and 60s and 70s in the Blues. Wind's going to be similar to yesterday in that it could start off breezy or windy for this morning, but after 11 a.m., that's when they're going to ramp up, and the windiest conditions are going to be in Ellensburg, Heppner, and Lexington, but it's going to be breezy across the rest of the map. Then for tonight, a few showers left over in the Cascades. Elsewhere, it is going to be dry, mostly clear skies. And overnight lows down into the 50s for lower elevations, 40s in the Cascades and 40s in the Blues. For tomorrow, the wind's going to return. This time, they're not going to pack as much of a punch as you see a lot of light winds across the map. It still could be windy in the Kittitas Valley. Peak gusts there around 35 miles per hour. And again, kind of the same setup, right? Could be breezy or windy in the morning, but after 2 p.m., that's when the wind's really going to ramp up. High temperatures normal for today and tomorrow. We're going to see a pivot for Sunday, then around triple digits in the Tri-Cities for Monday and Tuesday. A little bit cooler for Wednesday and Thursday, but still at that point will be about 10-ish degrees warmer than normal. But we're going to be past the peak of the heat wave at that point. The peak is going to be Monday and Tuesday. Could be around 100 degrees in the valleys and the foothills. And I wouldn't be too shocked if some portions of the lower Columbia Basin were a little bit closer to 105 as opposed to 100. We'll see how it shakes out. But regardless, it is imperative that you exercise all of the heat safety as we head into these next few days, and fire safety as well, because the vegetation going to get very stressed out since it's so hot and since we don't have any substantial rainfall over the next 7 days. So fire danger will be going up. Here is 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Mid-80s today and tomorrow, mid-90s on Sunday, then near 100 for Monday and Tuesday. In Yakima, trending warmer through the weekend, then right on the cusp of triple digits to start next week. In Ellensburg, windy over the next couple days, but next week's round of winds is much more concerning given the increasing fire danger. In Hermiston, normal highs Friday and Saturday, hotter Sunday, then the hottest weather impacts us Monday and Tuesday. And then for Walla Walla, low 80s today and tomorrow, near 90 for Sunday. They'll make a run for 100 degrees at the beginning of next week. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, why are so many Americans celebrating Summerween?
She is a moment.
Summerween exploding on social media, in backyards, and on store shelves.
Just basically celebrating Halloween twice a year instead of once a year, because once a year is not enough.
Retailers taking advantage of Summerween, combining summer and Halloween. The Home Depot already debuting their newest Boney Beauty.
Introducing Ultra Skelly.
And Lowe's even earlier with items available in April.
Retailers are consistently trying to figure out ways to generate sales to compete with their own numbers from last year, compete with their competition as well. So this is just another tactic.
And coming up at 7 a.m., Sam Champion will have much more on this summer Halloween hype. With your GMA First Look, I'm Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Here at Drive Time, we approve 99% of people who apply.
I got approved!
With no credit hit.
Yes, show her thousands of amazing car options under 15 grand.
Okay, Drive Time. This is a commercial. Go get your real deal at drivetime.com.
This week on Neutrogena Remembers.
Will you marry me?
I love you.
If you remember these two, it may be time to start using Neutrogena Retinol Regenerating Cream. It can reverse 7 years of visible aging. Great skin. Oh, to be young.
What are folks 60 and older learning these days?
New perspectives.
How to fix things.
Fun recipes.
Time is 6:52. We're taking a look at your national headlines this morning. Republicans are scrambling to pass President Trump's sweeping domestic policy plan by a self-imposed deadline, that is, and that's after a Senate official called for revisions. GOP leaders say they hope the Senate can rework the bill and pass it this weekend. After that, it would still have to go back to the House, Trump saying he wants to sign it by Independence Day.
6:52 in your business headlines this morning. iHerb is recalling about 60,000 bottles of blister packs of dietary supplements sold online because they're not child resistant. California Gold Nutrition Iron Supplement includes daily prenatal multivitamins, a women's multivitamin, and the Ultimins Women's 50 Plus multivitamin. They violate federal law requiring them to be in a child-resistant package. It's because the iron in them poses a risk of serious injury or death to young kids. And in your sports headlines this morning at 6:53, yesterday, Seattle Mariners facing off against the Minnesota Twins for a final time. Didn't go quite as planned. Mariners started off rough with the Twins gaining quick momentum right from the start. Despite strong efforts, Seattle couldn't gain traction, resulting in a devastating loss. Final score just 1-10. Mariners will need to get their head back in the game as they begin their battle against the Texas Rangers today. And at 6:53, here's the top 5 local stories that you need to know this morning, starting in Kennewick, where Governor Bob Ferguson is warning that proposed Medicaid cuts could hit families and care providers hard. During a press conference at Regency Canyon Lakes Rehabilitation Center, Ferguson cited estimates showing cuts of up to $3 billion over 4 years. He says the full impact won't be clear until Congress finalizes the budget, but stressed now is the time to speak up.
Authorities have arrested 23-year-old Alan Adams in Yakima. He was wanted in connection to multiple harassment reports that involved young women in Walla Walla. Police say Adams had a pattern of sending unwanted explicit images and messages. Walla Walla police had issued a public alert the day before his arrest.
Also in Yakima, about 40 people from the Friends of Migrants group marched to Congressman Dan Newhouse's office this week to protest deportation policies. They handed over symbolic bags of apples meant to represent farm workers and called for protection of undocumented migrants.
And a warning from WSDOT, scam text messages are making its rounds, asking for payments and linking to fake websites. Officials say they never send payment requests by text, and they encourage anyone who's received a message like this to report it to their phone carrier, also the FBI and the FTC.
And in Richland, classic cars, live music, plenty of family fun all rolling into town this weekend for Cool Desert Nights. Annual car cruise kicks off tonight with the popular Show and Shine event tomorrow morning, and it all takes place at the Uptown Shopping Center. All right, trending this morning, an iconic piece of royal fashion history just fetched more than $500,000. A floral dress once worn by Princess Diana has sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $520,000.
People got money to blow, apparently. Well, it's part of a larger auction in California called Princess Diana's Style, a Royal Collection.
Over 100 items from the late Princess of Wales' wardrobe were up for grabs, including gowns, hats, and even handwritten letters.
Ooh. Oh, and I remember that when they were just showing that dress Diana lovingly called her caring dress. She wore during a hospital visit to help comfort sick children, and it had that bright floral pattern. Aww. She thought that would bring joy to them.
And it was one of 10 pieces that went for 6 figures.
The sale is being called the largest auction of Diana's fashion ever, and the legacy she left behind clearly lives on in more ways than one.
She is and was so loved.
The People's Princess.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
People's Princess.
I know.
I don't know too much about the royals, but everyone knows Princess Diana.
I'm very
in respects. Oh yeah,
very in.
I know.
Yeah,
that's why I said that.
but and her fashion, her style was so iconic, and it still
even
is.
the way she spoke, so poised, so elegant.
Yeah,
an icon, truly.
Really is.
And I know $520,000 is a lot, but given her legacy, given that she was royalty,
you're right.
I don't think it's that expensive.
No, I'm sure
when it comes to like the auction prices we read sometimes,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd get it if I could.
Yeah. Not me, but you know,
I can't.
Other things, sure.
Yeah.
All right, get us out the door. What do we got in store for the weekend? Yeah.
Well, it's going to turn very hot at the beginning of next week, but we'll start to see some of that heat in a Sunday. First, I want to talk about this morning as we do have some breezes starting to pick up. They're really going to pick up after 11 a.m. and the windiest locations. Once again, going to be the Kittitas Valley and the Morrow County foothills, but it will be breezy across the map. Temperatures this morning, 50s and 60s for lower elevations, 40s in the Cascades, 40s and 50s in the Blues. Later today, a beautiful day. High temperatures in the 70s and the 80s for lower elevations. Very normal high temperatures for this time of the year. The bottom line for the forecast, we'll have more normal highs for Saturday, the pivot on Sunday, and that introduces us to triple-digit heat for lower elevations on Monday and Tuesday. And given that the forecast is going to stay dry, you factor in the heat, and vegetation is going to be very dry, so fire danger will go up. So again, first alert weather day, Monday and Tuesday. For lower elevations, as we could have, again, triple-digit heat, maybe up around 105 in portions of the lower Columbia Basin. Please take the pets on early walks. Keep the kids hydrated, keep yourself hydrated, especially if you're going to be working outdoors, and check in on all those vulnerable populations, especially the elderly.
And we do have all those tips up on our website, too. And thank you guys for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find updates at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Good Morning America's up next. We'll be back tonight with your local news and weather at 5.
Have a great day.